Hello everyone and welcome back. My name is Matt Latter and today we're going to continue the Pillars of Eternity Let's Play series. So in the last episode we've actually been not here, but in the Searing Falls. I've went ahead and skipped a loading screen for you guys, so now we are in Brackenbury. And that has a very good reason, because we're here to go to the Brackenbury Sanatorium again and see if we can find someone who's an expert in past lives to help Aloth. So, let's go right on in and see who it is that may help us here. I think I have a clue who it might be, but let's talk to everyone just to be on the safe side.
Hail and well met.
Hello again, can I be of some use to you? Do you know anything about awakenings? I'm afraid that's not my area of expertise. Thought as much? Let's actually ask the head warden.
Hail and well met.
Does anyone here know anything about awakenings? There's an animancer on the lower floor who came all the way from Ruver to study them. Take the stairs down and look for a Belisage. That's the one I was thinking about. If it's the second door to the left, I think. Or first one. I think first on the left, actually. Anyways, the woman from the Valiant Republics. Yep, that's her. Hello. Something else you need? Yeah, I'm looking for an expert on awakenings. She laughs bitterly. Ach, that would be me, though the lack of a research subject has made me more of an expert in counting floorboards. I would like to transfer Animancy's success in buttressing pre-awakened souls to soothing those whose souls have already awakened. But I need subjects, and most of the patients here are too broken to produce reliable results. It is a tragedy to have come this far for nothing. Well, you're in luck, I have a volunteer for you. She springs to the balls of her feet, beaming. Gerard, who is it? Alice's lips curl into a frown. I don't know about this. She grins more broadly still. Don't be silly. The process is perfectly harmless. All you must do is stand in that cage. Harmless, huh? I beg your pardon? I jest. Your adherents are so uptight. I do not even know what the thing is used for. It belongs to the last occupants of this office, I think. Now they upgrade him to a cell. Again, I jest. She rubs her hands together, getting down to business. So, I need you to sit here. She takes Aloth by the shoulders and steers him to the couch. And try to relax, but don't try too hard. Then you will not be relaxing. Indeed, his eyes are humorless. And you must also wear these. A little cold, but the copper will help conduct your essence. The Animancer fastens thick copper bands to Aloth's forehead and wrists. As she ratchets them tighter, his face twitches with suppressed irritation. Now I will examine your soul through my scope. She reaches into her desk and produces a long chambered tube. Knobs, dials, and small-toothed wheels run along the side of the device. It is fitted with ultra lenses to cut to different thicknesses and concavities. By manipulating them, I find the angles and densities that will allow me to track the anomalies in your soul. How exciting! I've never seen this sort of thing performed. Kana peers at the device with interest. It seems suitably complicated. Does it mean we'll get to talk to Isilmi more? I like that lady. She raises a finger. But first, we must find this cunning interloper. You will answer some personal questions while I make adjustments. Sagani pats his arm. Don't worry, I'm sure we won't hear any of it. Right. Alice scrums on the couch. Very well. She holds the scope to her eye and flicks a knob. To begin, tell me something personal, something from a time before your awakening. There's nothing to tell. I was just a normal child living in the Sith wood. He looks to you. His face is set in a frown, but the rigid edges of apprehension show through nevertheless. Talk about your parents. As you speak to Aloth, you feel your voice like a bell in your chest. It tolls softly, luring him into the mists of his own memory. Belisage doesn't seem to notice anything, but you feel as if your words are smoothing his essence, untangling its many threads. He closes his eyes. Mother is away most of the time, with the Thane's family, but I always know when she is coming home. Father's bottles accumulate like storm clouds on the horizon. His fits of temper become swifter and more violent. It still shames him, knowing that her Janniknik to another man supports us better than his labor as a steward. This is good. I'm starting to see something. Continue. Tell us about the time you awakened. She bites her tongue as she twists one of the dials. I am in my 5th year of training. Mother is home. I can let my guard down a little because when she is around, he is usually only angry with her. But he has heard that I have had trouble casting missiles, that my flame shields are unstable. He is furious that I have failed, and Mother's presence reminds him that he has failed too. The first blow takes me by surprise. One moment I am sweeping the kitchen, the next I am sprawled on the ground, stupidly looking at flecks of my blood on the tile. His boots, glistening with fresh polish, thud across the floor. He kicks me in the stomach, and I curl up to shield my vitals, but it's pointless. Protecting one thing only leaves something else exposed. Still huddled on the ground, I retreat as fast as I can. I retreat until the vision of the kitchen and my own trembling knees is nothing but a pinprick against the field of black. His jaw locks and his eyes twitch beneath their lids. Maldito, Bella Sage furiously cranks the knobs along her scope. He's hypnotized himself with his old memory. You've got to bring him out of it. Quickly, I almost have it. We squeeze his hand. You're safe. Everything's fine. Aloth's eyes snap open, but the expression you see in them isn't his. He's never safe when I hap upon him. Bella Sage sucks a deep breath through her teeth. That's it. I'm seeing a shift in his essence. Something spreading and congealing. She glances at you over her scope. Keep talking. He seems to respond to you. What brought you here? Cracking bones and voices high in ire? The warm molasses feeling that creeps down your gut when a crisis is nigh? Perfetto, we have flares of totally distinct essence. She jots shorthand notes onto the page next to her and turns one clicking knob on the scope. Now try to get the two of them talking. Okay, Isilmir, tell Aloth why you've awakened. Why? He's the one who needed me? Hiding in his own bone bag like a turtle in his shell? Aloth's face twists in fury. I never turned it over to you. Good, yes, very good. She rests from her scribbling only to make another adjustment to her scope. I can now see two separate patterns of essence. Here he ebbs, where the other flows. It's if a awakened soul fills the space that he leaves empty. She prompts you with a circling of her wrist, quite still in hand. Quill still in hand. Go on. Aloth, what's this about ceding space to Isilmir? He grits his teeth painfully. I've given her nothing. She usurps me in my own body. And I lent him a pair too? You should ask what I did with the old man of his. How the last time he laid hand on us, I break in 3 places. Aloth's head jerks to the side. That wasn't your decision. It's never been your decision. Nay, was awakening. But I'm stuck with ye, and damned if I let ye nipping jack us both through the scupper. I admit I have barely half idea what she's talking about. Ah, very good. She lowers her scope and consults her notes. I think I finally got something we can work with. I've tracked Isilmir's essence through the exchange. She had a particularly high density index during the most heated portions of their argument, and her essence seems to localize most clearly in the lower portion of the subject's left ribcage. That's right around the spleen, which, of course, means that she is triggered by black bile. No doubt the subject's characteristic melancholy is to blame. Aloth blinks back at you. In the midst of his perturbations, you're not quite sure who's looking out of his eyes. That's utter horseshit. Sagani's eyes are wide and innocent. It does seem as though she got one thing right. She glares at him. Yes, never mind my years of training. I suppose you have a better explanation? We do. Yeah, Aloth's right. That's absurd. Isilmir obviously shows up when he feels threatened. Bella Sage carefully scratches her jaw, her gaze darting between you and Aloth. I suppose that could be true. She jots another note. I'll have to check this against other research. He removes the copper bands. Well and good for you, but what does this mean for me? Bella Sage frowns at her notes, tapping her cheeks with a quill and making a grand show of concentration. However, you catch her stealing a glance at you over the pages. Huh. Isilmir tries to take control from you when she thinks you can't face a problem on your own. You can't let her make these decisions for you. She did you a favor by dealing with your father, didn't she? I think she's trying to help you stand up for yourself. You might like her methods, but you should hear her out. It seems that Isilmir steps in when she determines you're in danger. It's not clear whether this is help or hindrance. We'll take the middle one. She did you a favor. You might like her methods, but you should hear her out. If you had to listen to her half as much as I do, you wouldn't say that. He scowls, but you notice something thoughtful in his frown. I've got a lot to process. Regardless, thank you for your help, Aronath. He does not look at Balasage. She sets her notes on the desk and returns to her scope. Well, I hope this has been useful to you as it has been for me. I finally have material worth publishing. You'll be the toast of Reuva, Fentre Aloth. His grimace melts into a crooked smile. Aye, advancing the right-wise principles of animancy. Just what you always wanted. As you turn to leave, you catch a darting movement out of the corner of your eye. Balasage is humming to herself, still occupied with her scope, but Aloth is holding her notes. He's just about to tuck them into his cloak when he catches you watching. He holds a finger to his lips, his eyes wide and imploring. Please, I don't want personal information published like this, especially not after her nonsense. Yeah, I can't let you do that, not after hearing how much this means to her. He slides the papers back onto the desk, giving you a rueful look. Am Nee gonna help you explain this one, scholar boy? Well, so that one's dealt with. And we have a new message from the stronghold. St. Ivan's not completed. Sweet. In Imergal, Arena met with the priest of Abaddon to discuss the mystery of who holds the stolen Smith's Hall artifacts and for what purpose. During the investigation, a quirky priest of Whale lent the group his bizarre form of help. Answers to the thieves' riddles posed as different riddles. After tracking down each stolen artifact through a series of additional clues, Arena and the priest of Abaddon realized that the priest of Whale was the thief. Very pleased with himself, he had no objection to being captured and sent to the Earl of Irmir for punishment. When Arena left the priest of Abaddon, they were still trying to determine the point of the theft. Okay. Ivan's Cradle. Okay. Suspend magical abilities. So yeah, we want that one pretty soon. Bunch of money and some minor items as well. Sounds great. How's the construction coming along? 25 hours remaining. Also all going well. So yeah, now I think it's time to go back to the priestess actually. I think she was in the Ducal Palace. And I'll quickly take a drink here.
I'll grant you that animancy has had its failures, Balreach among them. But does that warrant attacks on innocent practitioners? Superstitious kith have spilled their share of blood.
That's no comparison. Animancers have the advantage of education, and with that comes authority and responsibility.
I have to say, it's wonderful to have someone to debate with. You'd think they'd be more welcoming of it at the Law College.
Or we could enjoy a glass of wine and a comfortable silence.
Yeah, I like Aloth. Okay, so off to the Ducal Palace we go. Gonna be fun to see what Durance has to say about the whole thing, if he has anything to say at all. Okay, so Ducal Palace up here. Heritage Hill is restored! Yeah, and you have me to thank for that. Aeronath Drake Slayer. That's what I call myself now after slaying so many drakes. I think it's earned. Oh. Oh, we were called. Right, I remember. More stuff to do here. So, Firga.
How do you do?
May you be guided and tempered by the flame. I turned to the Searing Falls myself. This is what I found there. We present her the burning stone. She takes the stone in her hands and gasps. By the flame, do you know what this is? It's a fragment of the Godhammer bomb. Yes, she turns it in her hands. The very weapon that Makron herself helped us build to defeat Waidwin in the Saints' War. She turns the stone in her hands, gazing into its bright glow. It's weird seeing it right in front of you like that. Before it was just stories. Now it seemed real. Yet her mouth twists into a frown and the orange light carves deep shadows across her face. So why don't I feel any different? What good does this do? Her knuckles whiten as she tightens her fingers around the stone. Hmm. I like number 3. She entrusted the Godhammer to her followers. Perhaps she's trusting them again to end the legacy. Transformation through trial. She turns the stone in her hands. It isn't an easy answer, but I would expect no less from my goddess. The woman hasn't been tried at all. Would that we were alone, I would take it upon myself to instill real transformation. As she looks at the statue, a flame springs from its raised hand. One of the things I have always loved about Macron is her affinity for fire, how it grows and spreads. You feel the warmth from fire rippling across the room. You've given me what I need. I'll make sure to give the people of Defiance Bay the support they need. An extraordinary positive. Oh damn. Now let you give me something you might need. She disappears, returning quickly with something in their hands. A weapon worthy of a goddess herself. Please accept it as a thanks for your service to Macron. And to me. Sweet. So what did we get? The Unforgiven. Let's compare it to what Adair has. A one-handed flail. Massive accuracy. Good attack speed. I'd love if they actually would go ahead and show you the DPS. I mean, I do really like the Raven Wing here. I think it's a better one, actually. Oh, I think we actually give it to Kana then for now. Wow, that thing looks evil. Triple flail. Oh well. One more important quest done. So we were called over the dispute of who's the real owner of Kate Nua. So, let's say hello. Chancellor Warren, thank you for coming, Aloth. I've been trying to track you down for some time. This is Marshal Forwin, Earl Badamar's military advisor. He will serve as a witness for the proceeding. He gestures at a man next to him. Well met, Road Warden. Your reputation precedes you. I admit you've created a bit of a stir through the nobility with your reclamation of Kate Nua. Most are still not sure what to think of you. So what's this about? The legitimacy of your claim to Kate Nua is in question. Earl Badamar has issued a ruling on the matter. Yeah, Kate Nua was abandoned for over a century and I've claimed the land as through strength of arms. My claim is legitimate. If there were no other claimants, you would be correct. Unfortunately, this is not the case. All will be made clear once Lord Gathbin arrives. Do you have any questions for me while you wait? Tell me about him. Earl Badamar comes from an esteemed line of lords that rose to prominence after the War of Defiance some 150 years ago. The Deerwood consists of 7 earldoms. The Badamars govern the northern earldom known as the Grasp. As to the current Badamar, he is a fine man as I know. It is an honor to serve him. Tell me more about the Grasp. The Grasp is now the largest of the 7 earldoms after it's consumed the pre-war earldom of Yenwood. It encompasses a notable settlements such as New Homer, Garen's Grasp, Gilded Vale, and of course, Kate Nua. Yenwood? When the Deerwood was a mere colony of Edir, it was divided into 9 earldoms. When the Edirans were defeated, they ultimately driven out, 2 of the earldoms were absorbed, and borders were readjusted. The Yenwood was one such earldom. Okay. What do you know of Gathbin? While I've met him but once, it was ample time to determine the character of Lord Elder Gathbin, or lack thereof. He is a descendant from an old Ediran line that predates the War of Defiance. His great-grandfather, Rani Gathbin, was the Earl of Yenwood during the war. That is, until he was stripped of his lands and driven from the Deerwood. Okay. What was that about a Road Warden? The one who rules Kate Nua on behalf of the Earl of Yenwood is traditionally known as the Road Warden. Your position might not be entirely official yet, but the title is an appropriate form of address. The Marshal nods and smiles. Do you know which way Earl Badamar is ruled? I'm sorry, my lord, I do not. The Earl's decree is sealed. Okay. Your timing is impeccable. Here comes Lord Gathbin now. Let's see what he has to say. An opulent dressed man strides towards the Chancellor, his sandy hair trailing him like a banner caught in a light breeze, boot heels echoing through the hall. An elven woman with cropped hair, dressed in dark, glinting mail, shadows his steps before taking position alongside him. She watches you unabashedly, taking your measure. Let's move past this formality and as quickly as possible. I have other matters to attend to. It's well known that Kate Noor belongs to me, by right. And where is this pretender, he who murdered the Redricks, my own sister and her husband, and now steals my land? Where is this lowborn wretch? Oh, okay, so we killed some of his family, apparently. Warren clears his throat and glances at you. This man here? This is Lord of Kate Noor? I thought he was just another servant, perhaps a valet or a porter. Yeah, come on. Everyone who owns keep, raise a hand. Go on, don't be shy. Imbecile! I hope you've enjoyed your time squatting on my land. Provoke me further and I'll hang you from the highest walls of Kate Noor when our business is finished. Chancellor, read the Earl's decree. Warren breaks the seal and scroll and unfurls it. Regarding the matter of the Gathbin claim on Kate Noor, Earl Buttermar finds that Gathbin claim was never relinquished. By law, Kate Noor is rightful property of the Gathbin family. I knew it. Gathbin smirks at you, triumphantly. I'm not yet finished reading, my lord. Gathbin rolls his eyes and motions for the Chancellor to continue. However, the Earl recognizes Arena's part in reclaiming Kate Noor, a site that has stood abandoned and even, some would say, cursed for over a century. Before Kate Noor's return to the Gathbin family, the Earl has decreed that Lord Gathbin will provide compensation in the form of... Absolutely not! Gathbin folds his arms, a defiant scowl on his face. My lord? Warren raises his eyebrows. The amount is quite reasonable and a requirement for your land to be returned to you, if you'll just allow me to finish. I'll not pay a single copper to this miscreant for my ancestral land. Do you think I'm blind to the Earl's motives, lackey? He thinks he can send a message with his insult? I have a message you can send to this son of a whore. Gathbin raises an open hand as the Chancellor shrinks from him, arms raised in defense. Enough! How dare you give me an order? Gathbin whirls to face you. My lord, I suggest you calm yourself, immediately. The Marshal's tone is calm, but his hand rests on the hilt of his sword. The old woman deftly draws a pistol from her thick leather belt, her eyes widen in anticipation. My lords, please, there's no need for violence. Lord Gathbin holds your gaze for several heartbeats, his eyes burning with hatred. I'll be coming for what's mine, count on it. Come, Captain Emery, we're leaving. He sneers defiantly before storming down the hall. The captain lowers her pistol and gives a smirking shrug before following her employer. What an asshat. While I can't say that Gathbin's reaction was entirely unexpected, through no fault of your own, I'm afraid you've made a powerful enemy. I've dealt with much worse. I hope you're right, Warren smiles thinly. In any case, Kate Noor now officially belongs to you since Lord Gathbin has rejected the Earl's decree. He hands you a deep blue scepter which looks to have been carved entirely out of sapphire. Oh. Here, this belonged to one of the old lords of Kate Noor. By right, it is yours. Yeah. Have this sent to Lord Gathbin as a token of friendship. 1,000 copper. That is a generous offer, and I'll make sure it reaches Lord Gathbin. It was a pleasure to finally meet you, my lord. Warren bows. Perhaps we'll speak again under more pleasant circumstances. Farewell, Aloth. The Marshal nods at you and leaves. Sweet. We've made a powerful enemy and sent some money after him to maybe calm him a little. But yeah. We'll have to see how that one turns out. So yeah, we've actually went ahead and did a whole lot of good stuff already this episode. We've finished 3 quests, I believe. At least 2? Yeah, something like that. So yeah, this is already probably gonna have to do it for this episode again.
Hey Aloth, can I talk to your, your friend? What is it about Isilmir? I'm right here, you know. No, you're both great. It's just, well, I feel like I don't get to spend as much time with her, and she's just so funny. I mean, some of the things she says are not nearly as funny when you've been hearing them for 50 years.
Okay. So yeah, anyways, I do thank you all for watching. Hope you've had some fun. I certainly did. I really like this game. I'm happy I've started the Let's Play series and went all the way so far. So yeah, if you did like the content, consider the usual comment, like, subscribe if you want. Twitter at _madletter for all the news updates. And with that said, thanks again for watching. See you the next time.